Hey, we just wanted to welcome you to home groups. And so we're excited about home groups. We really believe this here at First Monroe is that life is best lived in community. And so we want to do everything we can to help facilitate and push people to community. And so one of the things we want to do in this video is that if you're watching this, that means that you have either signed up or been invited to be a part of a home group. And so what we want to do is just very simply state several things of like, if you're a part of a home group, here's what we expect of you. Because sometimes we can kind of enter into certain things and kind of like not really know what the expectation is. And so what we want to do in this video is just very simply say like, hey, here's the expectation of all of us. If you're a part of a group, here's what we expect of you as to enhance group, to enhance the home group, to enhance everything that's going on. And so let me give you three things that we believe will help foster community and will help build your group. So the first thing is to commit to the group. So if we want to enhance our home groups, to enhance for them to be as best as they possibly can, one is that every single member that's a part of the group, you need to commit to the group. And I think there's two ways we do that. One is just showing up. So just being committed to showing up and being there, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's in person, just to show up. And so one of the things that I was thinking about is that Dylan and Shane and I are in a group that we meet every Wednesday morning. We meet together, and I was thinking about this, if any one of us decided not to come to the group, it would totally change the dynamic of the group, the conversation, like everything would change. And so here's one of the things I think we don't realize sometimes when it comes to especially smaller groups, is that if I decide not to come, it takes away from the group. Like whether it's discussion, whether it's just being the presence there, is that when people decide not to come, sometimes we're like, well, I got other things or I'm doing something else, but I think what we don't realize is when we don't show up, it totally changes the whole dynamic of the group. And here's one of the things that I want you to know that I think is important. And this is not to be legalistic or anything, but I think just to notice like you personally add value to the group. And sometimes I don't know if we think of it that way, but like when you come, you're adding value to the group, and what you're adding to is to the discussion, the environment of that group. And so one of the things we want to encourage you to do is, if you're a part of a home group, is to commit to that group, commit to showing up, and also commit to do this, commit to participate. You have value to add, whether it's to conversation, whether it's to discussion, whether it's about different things that are going on in the group. Like you have things to add to it. And one of the things that will make the group even better is not just for you to show up, but for you to participate, to answer questions, to talk through things, to speak up, because you add value to the group. And so one of the things that will help change your group dynamically is for every single person in the group to commit to that group. Second thing that will add value to your group or will help enhance your group is number two, is to be intentional. So not just, obviously first we need to commit to being there, we need to be a part, participate, all those kind of things. But another thing I think is to be proactive and be intentional with the relationships in your group. So we know this, every group that it may vary in different sizes, but there are different relationships that are fostered within your group meeting time, which is great. But one of the things I think that will enhance your group even more is to be intentional and proactive even outside of just that meeting time. So be proactive in saying like, hey, maybe I don't know someone as well. Maybe I need to take them to lunch, or maybe take them to supper, or maybe all the girls in the group we get together, or all the guys in the group maybe we get together, or whatever it is. But be intentional, because I think sometimes we're like, well, we'll wait on the group leader to schedule something. Now that totally can happen. The group leader may schedule like, hey, let's have another time, maybe to all go eat together or something, and that's great. But I think sometimes we need to all, like for you that's watching this, is every single one of you to be intentional, to step outside maybe of comfort zone, maybe invite somebody to your home, or maybe you go to somebody else's home if you're invited, or take someone to lunch, or whatever it may be. But I think one of the things that will enhance your group is for every single person to be intentional with the relationships within that group. So the last thing is what's said in the group stays in the group. So one of the things is that as you show up, as you begin to commit to the group, even as you participate, as you be intentional, one of the things that will help enhance every group is to know that you can have confidence in what you share. Because one of the things I think that here's I think my desire, and maybe your desire too, of every group, is that it would be authentic, is that like you would actually be able to find real community, to really be able to connect with people. But one of the things to be able to do that is that we need to be vulnerable about things within our life, and be authentic about things. Maybe it could be struggles, it could be things that have happened at work or different things. And so all those things, but in order for that to happen, is that we have to be willing to trust the people that are in our group. And so one of the things that I want to call you to, that you would commit to, is that as you meet in your group, that if somebody shares something, don't share it with somebody else, unless they tell you you're more than welcome to share this with someone else. But to keep things in confidence, to say, hey, look, if somebody shares something in the group, just to have this understanding of, hey, let's keep that confidential. Let's not share it to someone else, to another group of, hey, this is a prayer request, because this is something that I think will help foster people to be authentic and vulnerable, is if they know, hey, if I really open up my heart, or if I really share maybe something I'm going through or we're going through, to know like, hey, I know that they're not gonna share that with someone else. And so one of the things I wanna call you, and that we're calling you to do in this group, is if something's said there, then it needs to stay there, and it needs to be confidence. Well, here's the thing that I hope that you enjoy home groups, and I hope you enjoy and you find community a part of this. But one of the things that I've just realized about community is, to really find community, we have to be willing to commit to it. And so one of the things that we're calling you with these 3 things is, we want to call you, if you're a part of this, to commit to these things, to do these things. And I believe this, as we do that, and as the power of the Holy Spirit works, is that we will find community, we will build community, and God will use this time. And so thanks for watching this video. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have an awesome time in your group.